Why not? Welcome to another episode. Wait for it. Wait for it. We got to wait for it. Boom.
There it is.
Local plus media plus marketing with our special super duper guest, Dr. Professor Jill Schiffelbein.
And you actually say my last name right. I love it.
Oh, yeah. This crew gets your name right for sure.
And this is the Get Smart edition. No, not the comedy series from the 1960s, although I'm sure we could go there. But books, ideas, things that will be radically helpful and radically useful to you, our amazing, fantastic viewers.
Yeah. And don't forget, everybody, this is my my part to make sure that we share this to our personal Facebook tribes as well. So, David, you just went live, which I see you here. I mean, in the midst of all the ads that I get from you, David, I'm trying to find the post.
There actually is a real post here somewhere. I don't know where it is. But we're going to encourage everyone, unlike last time where we couldn't see the comments, it was very awkward and embarrassing. I think we've now fixed that.
All right.
So please do hit us up in the comments. Hit us up in the comments. Hit us up. Share this, like it, start a watch party, go all crazy, do all that stuff that you young kids do.
Yep.
Those crazy kids with their space books.
I hear you.
And their face pages.
Yeah.
Facebook. Here, Jill, just so you know, I should have told you this before we started. We do everything wrong during this. So every virtual meeting thing that you normally check off your list on whether or not it'll all be wrong on this. Just so you know. Let's level the expectation.
Yeah.
You didn't tell me to get a whole bottle of bourbon for this, Corey.
Yes, you should have. Sorry. I should have texted you.
Who knew? So I thought we would share, and it doesn't have to be right at the beginning. We can intersperse, we can move this around, but I know that people always ask about books. Like, what kind of books do you recommend? What kind of books do you like? Now, I gotta say, everybody here has one or more books. We are not here to promote and pitch our own books.
What are you? What? Wait, what?
I know.
What?
Wait, hold on. I don't want to be left out. I don't want to
There we go. There it is. That's the screenshot. Everyone going, no.
And David could just go like this over each shoulder. There we go.
So we're not here to do that.
Right, of course.
Although, if asked, we can. Oh my God, Jeff Ram! Jeff Ram is here.
Hey, Jeff Ram.
Jeff Ram, I have to raise a glass of Bourbon in your honor. That's how they say it over in the UK. Bourbon. And it is so great to see you, buddy. We got to have you in here. Should we bring Jeff Ram on right now?
You want?
Do we have the ability to do that?
Jeff, are you prepared for that? Let me ask the nice
Jeff
question.
Come on and join us at least for a little bit. And the place to go, I have a special URL tied to this particular live stream. It's called getinherenow.com. I swear to God, getinherenow.com will bring you onto this live stream. I'm going to type it.
That's awesome. If that were
here.
Jeff said, oh God, no.
He's probably wearing sweatpants or who knows what he's doing.
He has not signed the waiver yet, okay? You can't get him on here without the waiver.
Hey, Mary.
There it is. Getinherenow.com. I'm just going to put that out there in case people feel brave. They want to come on camera. That link will take you right into StreamYard. It's going to ask you to share your camera, share your microphone, and then you will be on camera live with Jill Schiffelbein. The three of us are going to go away and let the two of you have a civilized, intelligent conversation.
Great.
That's what we're going to do.
So I feel like I think I'll start by it's bedtime in the UK, he says. I'm going to start by saying officially hello to Trinity. We used to see each other like every single day, and now all of a sudden we don't. And it's really sad, and I miss you a lot. We went through hell and heaven and everything in between, putting together influence, and we came out of it brother and sister for life, I think. So welcome, Jill Schiffelbein, to our little show here. Thanks for being here. We love you.
So good to see you, Neo.
You too.
And Newman and Jess too.
Yeah, those guys too, yeah.
We're just set dressing.
So good.
We're just set dressing.
Now, for the sake of the audience, let's get to the moment at hand, which is us talking about some of the best books that we want to recommend that have made some sort of a difference for us and could for other people who are either business owners or entrepreneurs or you name it.
All right, Mr. Let's get on the agenda. Would you like to start?
A book called Pitch Anything, Oren Klaff. Pitch Anything. Now, I was about to take you behind the curtain, which behind the curtain is more books.
Wow.
And, so many books that there's behind the curtain over there. I was trying to figure out where the heck it is, but it doesn't matter. I could just tell you that Oren Klaff, so he talks a lot about the reptilian brain. If you're pitching yourself, I mean, he talks about a lot. So I can't condense it down into 20 seconds. But if you're pitching yourself, or you're pitching a business, if you want to really change the game, you want to flip the tables over, use more authentic persuasion techniques, then Pitch Anything is a book you got to pick up.
And apparently 5 metaphors in a description of a book too.
That's it. I have a minimum of 5 that I have to put in there.
All right, Jill.
And Jill Schiffelbein, you should go next.
Yeah, we'll
are bringing the much needed female energy to our group.
Yeah. And when you go, Jill, just give everybody, those who who may or may not know you, just a quick intro of yourself as well, if you wouldn't mind.
Let Ken Walls know, because he's watching and he's also
Ken Walls needs to know.
Yes.
Ken Walls needs to know.
You know, I am just a girl sitting on a live stream with 3 Jewish guys, hoping that people like me.
We always say it's like Passover without the food.
Right?
That's what the show is. The awkward.
Got rid of the one good thing. But anyway.
So I brought to recommend this book, Sprint, Solve Big Problems and Test New Ideas in Just 5 Days. This is my so far favorite quarantine read here. And what I love about it is it feeds my tech mind, but most people overthink, overanalyze, and still never get to the finish line on a big project. And this is a system to help you do it in 5 days. And although it came from like a Google think tank innovation type thing, and that's a process, it's really pertinent for, let's say you were, getting coached by Newman up there, and he said, you need to write out this marketing strategy. You could employ the 5-day strategy in here and actually get people involved and be able to execute it as well. So this is definitely my geek brain. Love this book to read.
Awesome. That's a great. I'll go next. I took a little different spin on this, so it'll be interesting. All of my books are very, very old. I went back to some of the books that were the foundation to everything that I've been able to accomplish in the little bits that I've been able to do. And this was the first one. Probably some of you have read this one before, but the E-Myth Revisited, Michael Gerber, who did an introduction on my first book. And that book in particular reminded me to fire myself. I think I mentioned that on our last piece, but that was one of the first ones to tell me that we need to stick to what we're good at and fire ourselves at the rest. He did that baker metaphor, if you guys remember that. And the woman specialized in baking, but the rest of her business struggled. And so she found professionals to help her do the rest of those pieces of her business, and then her business thrived. And so that's been a great reminder for me over the years. I've had to continue to revisit that idea when I try to do things and do them poorly. I remind myself to surround myself with a great team of professionals to get things done better than I could do them myself. So the E-Myth Revisited, if you haven't read that by Michael Gerber, it's one of my top 5 books of all time in my little career. Newman?
Yes.
That's your name.
Yes.
David's the first one.
Boom. This book, The Business, or Bidness, maybe people say Bidness, The Business of Expertise by David C. Baker. C is for cash. Really, really smart book. I had David on my podcast about 3-4 months ago, and super smart guy. If you go to his website, and there's all kinds of cool resources and downloads, just Google Business of Expertise, you'll find him. He has no testimonials on his website by design, and he talks about why that is. He is adamant about strategy before tactics, and he talks about having an expertise-based business that has, think of it as a house with 2 doors. And one door is coming in the strategy door, which is where everyone needs to come in. And the other door is coming in with the tactical door. So this is, for example, let's say it is an internet marketing company that does web strategy and also they build websites, let's say. If you start doing a web strategy and then say, oh, by the way, we can also build your website, that is much better positioning than we can build your website because every idiot thinks they can build websites. And now you've commoditized yourself if you lead with the tactical side instead of leading with the strategy side. And that's just one idea. There's probably like 25, 30 great ideas in here. He talks about pricing. He talks about value perception. He talks about focus. And there's some surprising things. It's not the usual kind of like, you should focus. It's like why focus defines your expertise and why working outside of your focus diminishes your expertise. So just really smart book. Highly recommended. If you're in the expert business, and I would argue that you are, Business of Expertise, David C. Baker. Plus it has just a great feel. It's like great paper, great color, great illustrations, all kinds of fun stuff inside, got stuff like that.
What he's trying to say is you can judge a book by its cover.
Yes, you can. Totally can. Glossy pages, see the gloss? Look, blinding. Glossy pages. Anyway, super smart guy. He initially came out of the world of ad agencies and helping ad agencies market their smarts and set themselves apart from every other ad agency. So there you go. That's my top pick, number 1. I got like 3 more, but who's next?
Round robining it. Go, Jess.
We're back to me. All right. I'm gonna go with really, it's a Russell Brunson book. You can get it for free, but they have a new one. I already took their course, which I'm waiting for it to show up, which is called Traffic Secrets. But for people who have ClickFunnels, small business people, the amount of help they give people of mapping out exactly what to do that nobody does online, as far as webinars, as far as making your site convert better, just so good. There's just so much content. So I'm going to go with Russell Brunson and .com Secrets.
Awesome.
Nice.
JS.
Same order. Well, I'm curious.
And people can get it for free.
Anyone listening live right now, comment in, give us a book too. We want to know what you are reading, or maybe I do. Like, I know these guys. I may or may not know you. What are you all reading? So YouTube, Facebook, wherever you're at, put in a comment and let us know so we can shout some of your recommendations out. The book that I think, and it's still in a box somewhere, so I'm like in transition, and then this whole pandemic theme hit and didn't get completely moved. So that was the one book that I had out because I had gotten it recently. But the book that changed my world more than any other book has, and I'll never forget it because it came out in 2009, and it's called What Would Google Do? And it's by a guy named Jeff Jarvis. And this book was the first time, because I had been like, my previous life was all academia, right? So I'm in the academic space. I was a, faculty for a while. Then I started building online classes and directing from the administrative side. And all this time, I'm like, why can't you think outside the box? Like, this theory here can apply to so many other places. Why aren't you seeing it? And then my head exploded. So I left the academic world, started my own business, and I've been much happier and much more fiscally well off ever since. But that's not a yay me plug. That is so if you're thinking of it, you can do it too plug, because this small town Kansas girl did. You definitely can. In any event, what that book did was Jarvis took the paradigm of Google and how Google thinks, and he applied it to healthcare, to city utilities, to bookstores, to publishers, to all different industries. And it was the first time that I read someone successfully doing that well. And of course, Google, again, well over a decade ago, was still huge, but it's not the behemoth as much as it is today, but it was growing there so quickly. And so I think that type of thinking, it inspired me on so many levels. But anything by Jeff Jarvis I like, but What Would Google Do by Jeff Jarvis was that huge turning point book for me.
I remember that book very well, Jill. I read that book too, right when I was getting into the biz as you were, and it was transformational for me as well. So very, very good pick. I do want to say hello to a few people who have said hello to us. Is Leo, our buddy, Leo Cardenas. How do you say his last name? Cardenas, our buddy, says hello. Which another NSA friend of ours. Great to see you. Gene is here. Jim Johnson. Rayner is here, your buddy. Jill, he says hello. And last week's guest, Mary Kelly, in the house, also says hello. A book that I recommend that I actually have on my Kindle. I was looking for it, but I won't waste everybody's time trying to find it. But we all know him very well. Alan Weiss, $1 Million Consultant, also $1 Million Speaker. But that book in particular, one piece that stuck out for me, and I know stuck out for everybody, I think, on our little program today, was value-based pricing versus hour-based pricing, and turning ourselves from hourly workers to value workers, which has just been transformational. I use that word again for me and my business. So if you are in the speaking world, consulting world, an expert of any sense, and are looking to use that for business, I recommend Alan Weiss's material wholeheartedly. It was a game changer for me. Mr. Newman, and you can see, Jill, we do these pretty quickly. So 3 or 4 books is good, and we'll move through very, very fast. We're in the ADD generation here, everybody. Let's go. Here we go.
All right. I'm about to blow Corey Perlman's mind. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
It's not a marketing book, but it's a marketing book. Boom.
Oh, wow. Very cool.
Deep and Wide by Andy Stanley. And this is not about his early dating life. It's not. This is a fantastic book. Andy runs a series of mega churches down in the Atlanta area.
Terrible.
And massively, massively successful. He gets Jews to show up. He gets Jews to show up at church. So I'm visiting my buddy Corey Perlman and his beautiful family. And they're like, well, it's Sunday and we're going to church. And I said, excuse me? I said, we're going to church. Would you like to come? I was like, yeah, sure. I'd love to come. He goes, it's not like church the way you think of church. This is like crazy church. This is like a rock concert. And I'm like, okay. And then this is about how to appeal to people different than you. And the subtitle, and which is what Andy has mastered, who teaches pastors from all around the world how to do this, creating churches unchurched people love to attend. So talk about starting a movement, and all the things that you believe, all the things that are important to you, your mission, your vision, everything else, how to enroll people who are skeptics, non-believers, perhaps not even really interested in learning about it, and how to leave the door wide open to dialogue with them, embrace them, give them a sample, let them come in to whatever extent they're comfortable, and eventually get them to fall in love with what you're up to. And some will and some won't, but what a fantastic, amazing book. And Corey, I'll tell you, that was a life-changing experience. So right here on Facebook, I'm going to say thank you again to you and Jess and the kids and everybody for pulling me into that transformational experience. That was amazing. This book I think will set off all kinds of light bulbs for all kinds of people. If you're up to something big, you're up to something exciting, this is the book that from a totally different realm will help you make that movement go bigger, go faster, involve more people, include more people, and accelerate your progress by a factor of 10.
Wow.
Deep and Wide, Andy Stanley, boom.
And this is why we all want David Newman to do testimonials for our book.
Yes, exactly.
That's it. Yeah, David, stay on for an extra 5 minutes.
Yeah, no problem. I'm
I'm
blurbing everything. I'm blurbing everything. We got to send Andy this video too.
Yes, I got him. Yes.
We have a comment in Leaders by General Stanley McChrystal has a recommended book from someone on there. I can't see who the user is, and I'm sorry I can't see your name, but nice. Thanks for that.
Yep.
Reading now, Leaders. Nice.
All right.
Very nice. All right.
Who's it back to
I'll
now?
take the next one.
Excellent.
All right. Well, I don't know how many of these we're doing, so I'm deciding like which ones to leave in.
This
or
is the
out.
last
We're gonna
one.
Just keep going till.
This isn't my show. I'm just making a decision.
I know.
This is the last one. Then we're talking brownie recipes.
This is why Jill is successful in life, because she doesn't mess around. She's
No.
like, and this is what we just decided, and people are like, okay, all right then. All right, well then we'll see how it goes, but I'm gonna go with I gotta go with Rich Dad Poor Dad, because in 2000. So if you haven't read it already, oh my God, this is now a classic. But he really got people to understand the difference between what's an asset and a liability, and if you're really a business owner, or if you just own your job, or if you're really creating a business or not, and you know, a lot of times people and kids learn business playing Monopoly. That's how he did. That's, you know, we think back of Monopoly. Actually, now during this whole pandemic lockdown, my wife and I and our 15-year-old, we said, let's torture ourselves. Let's play Monopoly and see how long it lasts. Well, we played it in stages and it lasted 9 hours.
Wow.
That's how long that lasted. But I know, because we used house rules and there was too much money in the game and it was a problem. But my son loved it because he beat the pants out of everybody. And at the end, I had a slow death. Anyway, people learn a lot from Monopoly. Robert Kiyosaki, who wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad, created a game called Cash Flow. So this is a bonus to the book. There's a game. It costs like $250. What? For a game? Because it will really teach you all about business and not being in the rat race, and that, you know, a job is a job, just over broke, and all those cool things. So I highly recommend. That's right. Our Facebook person says we can't tell who you are, and I'm trying to monitor on Facebook on my other screen. But yes, Monopoly never ends. So Rich Dad Poor Dad will teach you how to have the very latest. I'm reading at the bottom. How to the very latest skills for creating a business. And the Facebook user wants to know about Jill's book.
Quick
And
station
even
break.
David
What
Newman
is
said-
Jill's latest book?
Yes.
In development, that's what it is. That is
The
the
dynamic
most
dynamic
recent-
communication. She is the dynamic communicator.
most recent.
Jill
Thank you for
Schiffelbein.
asking.
Jill, because one of our viewers asked, you know, we weren't going to talk about our books, but because they asked about your book, please tell us what people can find inside.
Oh, well, 2 of the 3. Sorry, Corey. People other than me on this call have blurbs in there. I didn't know you that well then, Corey.
Nope.
Or you would have had a blurb. But it's 27 different strategies, and I interviewed 27 different experts for those particular strategies. So you don't just hear me rambling on. You hear expertise from many different perspectives, which I like.
And it's a fantastic book. Even
and
the parts I didn't contribute are fantastic.
All the love and
And who
support,
can-
guys.
And that book, who the publisher is who exactly?
Entrepreneur Press, Entrepreneur Magazine's book arm.
Entrepreneur Press.
Hey.
Look at that. Look at that. Jill Schiffelbein interviewing me for a book, which was awesome. Thank you for including me.
Fancy.
But now that is pretty darn cool. And but who is this for? What problem can it solve, Jill Schiffelbein?
Lots of problems. Depends on the day. It's for those like ADD squirrel brain people who are like, I can't read a whole book. I have a business problem. It probably touches on communication. Is there a chapter? Oh, there is. Great. Let me read for 5 minutes and put it down, and then come back a year later and it's still useful. Which is how I wanted to design it. You know, it's the reality is it's communication that's results driven and action oriented, not just here's how you dot your I's, cross your T's, and theoretically structure a message, but here's how you do a message in the physical, virtual, leadership, team management, public speaking, webinar, whatever space, media that actually drives results.
Boom.
And what about your book? What about your last book recommendation?
My last one, it is what I just started reading, and I'm reading it digital here, but it's called Invisible Women. You may have seen this book, but it's data bias in a world designed for men. And what's fascinating to me, and I am just getting like one chapter in it right now, so I'm not going to give this huge, dissertation on it. But when I worked with Corey Neal Perlman over there in designing Influence 2018, the single largest gathering of professional speakers in the world, what was so apparent to me is that I wasn't aware of how bias needs to be, if that makes sense. So I was going a little too deep, but when it came to doing that, the word is diversity that gets thrown around a lot, but what are the biases that I brought into the table in selecting speakers? What are the biases Corey brought to the table selecting speakers, et cetera, and how can we make something that accurately represents our membership when the two of us combined don't even accurately represent the membership, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it was a big challenge, and this book to me is fascinating because even when we look at data that determines what schools get funding or what neighborhoods get things, census-based data, all these things, and even when we start to look into artificial intelligence, which people are like, well, artificial intelligence is unbiased. No, because a human had to program that AI, and most of the time those humans are male. So therefore, there is an inherent gender bias in AI programming. And so this book is really delving into and extrapolating, taking apart all of that stuff. So I'm still just getting into it, but really curious to see where that bias, unconscious and conscious, really comes into the design of things that we see in our everyday world.
That's great.
Wow. Corey, would you like to mansplain what unconscious bias is now?
I would not. Yeah, thank you very much.
Corey, why would you do that? Please.
Oh, we learned so much, didn't we, Jill, during that experience?
Oh my gosh. And it's so bad. You do something like that, you see it wrong all the time, and you're like, ooh, can't go there.
I remember this a little bit of a quick note of when we were doing that experience, though, the lessons that I learned that I didn't see. I remember being on a panel. You remember this, Jill? I mentioned it in Speak and Spill. And they were doing like a warm up or whatever. And it was about hotels and what made up people's experience at hotels. And I looked to my left and it was all white dudes. And I looked to my right and it was all white dudes. And I was like, there's a problem with this panel. This is not accurate to what you're looking for. It's just we're all the same age and the same color and the same gender. And that may have not crossed my mind in years past. And that was a big shout out to you to help me kind of understand that a bit more during our process. So that was cool.
It was a learning curve, but when you really think about it, it's hard to accurately assess even what we do in our businesses and what are the biases that we have put into it that are impacting our clients' experiences. And that's where I'm really like messing with myself mentally reading this book.
Yeah. Something else that kind of blends off of what you were talking about too, in terms of, I guess, just getting to know ourselves, introspectively, and the people that we work with. There's this book. It's kind of hard to see. I'll explain it. Sorry, let me see if I can. There we go. The Road Back to You, and it's all about the Enneagram. And it's a deeper dive, I would say, for like a personality structure, a personality test. And the reason I bring it to this business conversation is I had my employees, my team do it. And it was fascinating to understand what number they were. So it's a scale of 1 to 9. And in each of those numbers is sort of a somewhat of a generalization of what your personality type is and how to deal with that person in different ways, you know, how to give constructive feedback, how to celebrate that person, and just generally how to communicate with them. And it was fundamentally game changing for my business and for my team and for our morale and all that. So
How about your marriage?
that too, actually, that too. Yeah. Our family, there's one for kids and how to deal with your kids and then back to you. And of course, understanding your own numbers. So yeah, both from a personal and professional level. Thank you, David. It was game changing for me. So the road back to you, and it's about the Enneagram, which has been around for 100 years, but this one revolved around it. So that would be my recommendation.
You have some unconscious bias around being a 4 or a 7?
I do. I would never work with, and no, I'm just kidding. I don't know. Is that what you are? Is that your wing?
I've never actually done it. I've never done that. I mean, I've done a lot of the other assessments like DISC and Myers-Briggs and StrengthsFinder, but I've never done the Enneagram. Anyone else know your Enneagram number?
Yeah. You haven't done it, Jill?
No, I haven't done it. I've had people tell me what I am, but I don't, and I don't even remember. It was one of 2 numbers. I don't remember what it was, but
yeah.
I've never done it, but my wife said that I'm an 11.
Boom!
On a scale of 9.
On a scale of 1,000.
On a scale of 1,000. Nice. All right.
Yeah, it'd be very
To
interesting
me?
what your numbers are. Yes, but I would guess, Jill, that you're maybe a 1 or somewhere in there, which also my wife is, but in a different, I think, kind of style. And I'm a 3. And then you also have wings, which are kind of the complement to your numbers. So I'd be fascinated to know the number.
Wings. Can I just show my favorite comment so far?
Yes.
There it is.
Oh, that one.
Do It Marketing remains one of
Now,
my
are these
top 10
comments-
books for business. I have to agree. It's in my top 10 also.
Well, what you don't know is Facebook user actually is David Newman. So that might be why that.
That's why I'm hiding my name, of course.
4 an 8. That's what I've been told I am, an 8.
Oh, an 8. Okay.
Do these all have labels also? Like, is there a moniker for each number? Like,
Yeah, the 1 is the perfectionist.
okay.
3
Oh.
is the 2 is a helper, and the 3 is the what is it? That's
Well,
my,
it says the reformer, the helper, the achiever, the individualist, the investigator, the loyalist, the enthusiast, the challenger, and the peacemaker.
Yep.
Am I a 7?
I don't know.
Jill, what's the label for 7?
The enthusiast.
Yeah, I'll buy that. I'm very enthusiastic.
And where can we go, Corey Perlman, to take this?
Is there like a
assessment?
free online assessment or something?
There is. You can get and I'll put that in the links here afterwards, but I'll find it and I'll send it to everyone so that you can take the Enneagram test and find out the number that you are.
Excellent. Well,
Boom.
I think
All
my
right, so-
last book, because apparently we're on the last round, because like Jill Schiffelbein's the boss now suddenly. It's like, welcome to the Jill program.
Hey, I'm a challenger, okay?
Yeah, there you go.
In this environment, the Virtual Presenters Playbook by my buddy
Nice.
Roger Corville, CSP. This book came out probably, I don't know, 3-4 years ago. It was this particular book, by the way, is sponsored by, this is a sponsored book. So Roger's also cutting sponsorship deals. GoToWebinar, GoToTraining bought tens of thousands of copies of this book to give out to their customers at trade shows and send them out prospecting, customer acquisition tool, customer retention tool, customer loyalty, and thank you gift. Anyway, 250 plus ideas for your webinars, virtual presentations, videos, webcasts, and online classes. Now, if you didn't pick this book up before, I know you're going to pick it up right now. Get your little tookus over to Amazon, Virtual Presenters Playbook. You will not be sorry. And then you will have a lot more tools and resources in your toolkit for doing crazy things like what we're doing today. There you go. That is my pick of the week. Corey Perlman.
I just have I had a comment come in over here that some folks are having trouble figuring out where to comment. Can you put the link maybe in here on where to go to comment?
So they can comment. They can comment on Facebook if they go to my profile. Just search for David.
I started a watch party.
You started a watch party?
Yeah. So let me see.
See, I'm not sure. Like when it's shared out, I don't think the comments from these remote locations come in.
Right. I think you're right.
But if you're on YouTube, if you're on
everybody,
Periscope, or if you're on Facebook, sort of native, without a watch party, then can you click through on a watch party and find the source broadcast or no?
I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
So I think if it's shared in a watch party and then people comment on the watch party, we are not going to see that in here.
Unless we see it on our phone and I
see it on your phone.
Yeah, and we can mention it. But okay, that's just curious.
Yeah, and if you're watching it on somebody else's feed, like say my feed, if you click on the video, it'll bring up the comments in the right spot.
Right.
Another idea is write it on a little piece of paper, fold it 4 times, crumple it up, and put it in the corner.
Yes.
Nice.
It's funny. I use BeLive most of the time. I haven't used StreamYard before for comments. So it's every little system has its nuances. So test.
How does BeLive work well with comments, or is that glitchy too?
So, I mean, every experience I've had with it has been good. I was just on a show right before this one, actually, and could see the comments come in pretty quickly.
But the big question, Jill, on that would be if other folks like us, we're starting watch parties and such from Facebook. I mean, would that bring it into BeLive, do you know?
I don't know the answer to that at all. Yeah.
I'm not sure that any of them do that, David. That would be challenging, I would imagine.
Right.
But,
multi-streaming, multimedia, multi-marketing.
So, Jill, I have a quick question for you. Sorry. What'd you say, Jess?
I was going to say, is this the final round of book choices?
By all means, you guys can do it.
Ideas.
I was told to bring 3. I brought my 3. Sit this one out. I'm good.
I only brought 3.
I want to ask a question to Jill because we got her on here and we talked about this already, but I would really enjoy her perspective. And it's communicating during times of crisis. So, like, what are you telling people these days in terms of their communication strategy, whether it be to prospects or clients or things of that nature? But are there any tips that you would give people around communicating in times of crisis?
Sure. So I guess from 3 different perspectives. Number one, internal audiences. If you're having team meetings, you're leading teams, etc., recognizing that productivity does not go on as normal. And I think by now at this stage in the game, people have realized that, but giving the team permission to vent, giving people permission to move the proverbial negativity elephant from the room about something, no matter how trivial it is huge. So I suggest to a lot of clients, I want you to go around. The first thing you do in your meeting is once a week, everyone shares the most trivially stupid thing that they're mad about from the previous week. So like mine was, I spilt flour all over my kitchen floor and I just sunk down to the floor and bawled my eyes out, and then someone moves on and you just have these very real human connecting, uniting experiences so you can move on to what you need to accomplish. So that's internal. From an external perspective, if you're trying to selling right now is very different if you're doing it at all. A lot of people I know are using this time to research needs of people and have conversations that they wouldn't have otherwise had the luxury to have. So from a communicative perspective, I'm telling people, have those investigative conversations with people that people wouldn't otherwise be inclined to have with you. And you can do it from a very human element that is not as pushy. So for example, in other situations, if you have a sales call and someone's like, well, can you tell me how you use this? In the back of your mind, you're thinking, they're trying to sell me on something. But if that's truly not your objective, being like, listen, I know I'm a salesperson. I need to tell you this is not a sales call. I have nothing to sell you. Our product line isn't launching right now. We're not shipping right now. Nothing like that. I'm genuinely trying to do research and take the opportunity to do that investigation now because you genuinely have the ability to do it in a way that you never will in other situations again. And so capitalize on that.
That's great. And I am getting I'm getting some comments in that they can see our comments as well. So on the watch party now, Newman. So that's good. People are hearing us. But thank you for sharing that, Jill. I think that we had a lot of folks asking those questions on, I think, our first or second one of just how to navigate and where to pivot, I guess is the word everybody's using these days, during this time, and whether you should stick your head in the sand or actively communicate. So,
well, I think it's no matter what you're doing, make sure the communication's authentic to who your brand is as a core. Who your brand is as a core should not have changed because of this pandemic and should not change after it. So make sure your messages are key and consistent to that. And the same thing is, this is a very personal stance on it, but I see people going live in PJs and doing things like that. And if that represents who your brand is as a core, then by all means, keep doing that. But think, even though we're in different situations and we see different sides of people's lives now, which is beautiful, it doesn't mean that all of those sides of your life need to be shown in regards to your business. And really consciously think through that, and don't use this situation as an excuse not to execute fully on something you had planned.
That's badass. We I don't know what I did, but I pressed a button that seemed to work this time really well. So we got lots of new people that have joined us. Danny Broadway in the house. What's up? Andy Flink. What's up, buddy? Sandy Beck is here. Jody's back, Newman. Jody's here again. Yes, my team member, and I don't know if any of yours are here, but I'm just saying.
All right. This now I think we've gone to the public shaming. Now I think we need some public shaming.
Yes.
So you keep going down the list of all your team who's here. And while we do that, I am going to share a little something about here. Hang on. It's coming.
Would you like a drum roll? Would that help?
That would help.
I think the drum roll would be great. All right.
Well, not so wrong.
It's coming. Oh,
my fingers are hurting, man. Come on. All right, I'm stopping.
Come on.
You said drum roll, and no joke, my brain was thinking egg roll.
Yeah.
And now I'm hungry.
All right, hang on to the egg rolls. This is totally not worth it. Let me repeat. Totally not worth it. But we're going to go anyway. We're going to do a little camera screen sharing. Share the screen. We're going to go into Chrome tab. All right. Here are
Chrome
all
tab.
the people who are not watching this live stream. I'm not seeing Charlie. I got no Sam, no Lois, no Stephanie, Sarah, Michael, Kim, Morgan, Courtney. Not even Woofy is watching this. Nobody is watching this.
Corey,
Nobody on my team is watching squat.
You're just bragging about the size of your team, Newman. Bragging about the size of your team.
It's not about the size of my team. It's about
who shows up to watch you live.
Goddamn broadcast. What are they doing right now? I'm paying them money. That's happening. Are they on here going, good job, boss? Yeah, you're so great. You're so handsome. No, they're not.
They're going to send you a mug like Jess has.
All right. So all the people that have come in, we want to hear what your favorite book is, your favorite business book that we haven't mentioned yet. So Sandy Beck, I know you got one, maybe the one behind me over this direction as a hint. Dale Carnegie, Terry, Jason Steele, my buddy, my jiu-jitsu buddy, Charla, Kim Becking, another NSAer in the house. What is your favorite business book? Let us know. We shared 3 of ours, so a total of 12 awesome professional books, and we'd love to know what yours are as well. So that Jess, go ahead. You got something to say.
Oh, I was just gonna say, right behind David, even though we're not plugging our own books, Do It Marketing. I know that Do It Speaking is the newest book, which is also great, but Do It Marketing has so many ideas that you can use during a time like this where you should be marketing harder, reach more people. That's something you can do. There's more stuff in there. There's more stuff in there than you can go and implement. And what David says is, I think you say pick 3 or you say pick 1. You probably pick 3. Yeah. Pick 3. Just go through, pick 3. You can always go back. You can do more. Pick 3 and you can have 3 brand new ways to market yourself. Boom.
Awesome.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Well, let's talk about ideas, because the whole promise of this is get smart. And we talked about some books, but sometimes we kind of share what's working for your clients, what's working for you personally. What are some ideas that maybe kind of private reserve, you wouldn't ordinarily share, you wouldn't ordinarily teach, but suddenly, because you're on this crazy live stream, you decide, you know what? Let me throw this crazy idea out there and see who can run with it. See who it might help. What do we have in that category of ideas that just might help people get some traction, get some focus, get some direction in their business, things to upgrade? Like Jill said, maybe it's customer research. Maybe it's working on your own material. Maybe it's about working on the book that's been sitting on mothballs. Maybe it's about working on the next book that you need to be working on. I mean, anything that you're doing that might help others. Jess Todtfeld.
Okay, I got one for everybody here, and I'm about to record what will be a $500 electronic learning product for my people that I'm going to just give to some of my people, and I'm basically going to give it to everybody right now. Should I do it?
Yes.
Okay, then. Only because David asked. So here's what it is. Some people watching may not have a book already, or they have a book that doesn't feel as new as it could be, and they have some new thing that they want to talk about. Oh, if we only had that book, which is a learning product, to be able to use as either a thing to sell or something that you can offer in advance or a value add. Oh, if there was only a way that we can create something quickly, here's what you can do. An audio product, and this is how people who are tuning in can do this very quickly. This is actually how I started my business. Everyone said, you must have a book. And I was like, oh, how long is it going to take me to get this book done? I'm in trouble now. So it's an audio product. Here's what you do. You plug a microphone either into your computer as I lean down. Oh, no, there we go.
I don't want that camera drop into certain places, Jess. Just, you know.
You don't want to know. I wore pants today. That's my media training strategy. Wear pants. So you either plug a microphone. Which microphone, Jess? It doesn't matter. Make sure it sounds good enough. It could be, listen, good enough is the one that came with your iPhone. You plug it into your computer or your phone. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to record a 30-minute or a 60-minute learning product. You're going to name it something so irresistible that recognizes the pain that people have or the pleasure they're seeking, ideally both. And you're going to record this thing. You're going to come up with a great outline, and you're going to sit down, and you're going to do it in one shot. And then you're going to, Jess, what are all the fancy ways that we can deliver that product? I'm just going to tell you about the easiest one. Put it in Dropbox. And then you tell people, I have this cool product. Here's what it is. You can come up with a graphic. Jess, I don't know how to come up with a graphic. Go to Fiverr, where people do stuff for $5. Go to PowerPoint or Keynote and just copy and paste stuff that won't get you sued by somebody into a file there and make a graphic. But Fiverr, you get someone else to do it and sell this thing. Jess, how do I take money? PayPal.me is an easy way. Are there better ones that are even more professional? Sure. But this way you can at least take money. Or Stripe. There you go. You have your learning product now. Boom.
Nice.
And I think what we all learned is that if Jess was quarantining solo, the voices in his head would keep him plenty company. Thank you for showing us those inner dialogue.
If only that's the first time I'd been told that.
But Jess,
I'm not lonely. I've got my friends.
it was amazing.
Neil,
It's nice to have company for a change on a live broadcast.
Nice.
Yeah, sure. If we're going in the same order. So here is what I am doing behind the scenes right now for my next video thing. And I love video. It's my jam in many different ways. And it's been a while since I have done one for myself. I've done plenty for clients, but not for myself in a while. So here is what is happening. And here's the exact process that you can replicate too. I am planning a 12 video series. 12 corresponds to what number? Months in a year. That's what I am choosing to do. And then content that will also drip out from that month will associate with that video, and of course draw back to the website where that video will be, et cetera, repeat traffic. How am I choosing these videos? I am so glad you asked. In the style that Jess is, doing, I am going to go with it too, because, you inspired me, Jess. It's great. So how am I choosing these videos? My work right now, a lot of it for the past couple of years, I've been doing a lot of research around the intersections of communication and decision-making, bringing in neuroscience, different strategy, et cetera. And decision-making writ large is the huge thing that is being searched for more. So step number 1, pick your subject area that you feel you're going to go attack for these 12. You could insert 24, 52, whatever you want, any number of videos. For me, it's 12. For these 12 videos, I go to answerthepublic.com. I type in decision making. I find out what are the questions being asked about decision making. I look at those. I highlight the ones that I can speak to as an expert. By that, I mean someone asked me any of those questions, I could speak for at least 20 minutes, zero question or doubt on that to be able to answer it in an expert way. If I can do that, I highlight it. After that, I may have maybe 20, 30, 40 questions after. I think I had like 44 that I really liked and that pertained to decision making in business, which is really what I wanted to go down. Then I did Google keyword research to see which of those 40 odd questions, what were the top 12 of those that were showing up in actual searches. Answer the Public searches for that for you, but then which ones are doing the most, you have to go a layer deeper. Do that. Voila, I have my 12 video topics. So currently right now I am in the fleshing out in terms of the content space on each of those 12 videos and how they flow together. Those will then be executed over a month. A mini snippet of each video that will be approximately 3 to 5 minutes will be put out on different social channels. There will be blog posts from the transcripts, audio clips that can go in Insta and Facebook stories so you can get a taste of it. And so even though it's one main piece of content per month, there are a dozen other residual pieces that will go out after it.
Wow. Makes us feel like we're not doing much, does it, guys?
Total slackers. We are total slackers.
It's
Our
12
video
videos.
plan was
That's
this.
it. That's it. Jess
Jill,
is making
this
a course.
was our video plan.
Jess is making a course that's selling for money. I'm just making free stuff that I'm giving out. That's it.
I was at a lake last week. I fished a lot. That was about it.
There's an
You know what
idea.
should be our ender?
There's an
As we hit the
idea.
end of the hour. Here's
So,
an idea for our ender.
So yes, we are. So we'll wrap this up, Jess. We'll each do our idea, and then we'll see everybody next time.
We'll leave them wanting more.
Wait.
Leave them wanting more. That's been our thing, Jill. Is leave them wanting more.
But Jess is dying to say something right now.
Yes.
Like dying.
Yes, I was like, oh no, he can't hear me. Well, we should give something away for free as our ender.
We could. You can do that, Jess. I'm just gonna give him my website.
You can do it too, Corey Perlman. I
No,
just
I'm
put you on the
good.
spot.
I appreciate
You
it.
gotta
I'm good. I guess I give stuff for free all the time. I'm good. So
He's
my
too exclusive. You can't find him.
so exclusive I can't even find it. That's how deep and secret they are. Mine would be our team is I'm kind of going back to a little bit of what we were doing prior to a lot of the speaking stuff, which is doing a lot of free and low priced content and gaining email addresses and contact information and building trust and credibility through that. And then and doing a soft kind of sell at the end and just letting people dive deeper. And it's working quite well for us. We're getting a lot of consulting projects that are coming in. That's been great, to be honest with you. And it all starts with freemium versus premium. So everybody, I feel like in the speaking world, at least, is so scared of speaking for free virtually. And I think that that's silly. And I think what you need to do is have alternative options to be able to provide for folks. And if they like the value that you're providing, they will seek you out, Jess. You don't have to give them teasers and such. They'll come find you. And that's what I've found. And it's been very, very helpful. And the other thing that we're doing real quick is we're changing a lot of our marketing for virtual. So our website's changing over to show people that we have virtual options. The background photo to my LinkedIn, some of my LinkedIn stuff is just showing those options, obviously, for the next 3 to 6 months while we are doing more virtual stuff. Our marketing is going to show that as well. So we're definitely changing a lot of that around as well. So that's what I'm doing. Newman.
Yes. Thank you. Well, this is a time of change and transition. and all the old crap. It's so funny, Corey, that you said about we're going back to what used to work. And I think so many of us that have been around for a little while, we have the following syndrome. Yeah, that worked so well, I stopped doing it.
Yes.
Wait a minute. What? It worked so well that you stopped doing it. What if you went back to what worked really, really well and put it in today's environment? Wouldn't it work even better? It's like, maybe it would. So here's what we're doing. And this is going to be a game changer for us. I stopped selling cheap crap in 2013. Swear to God, those of you that know me, you could not buy anything in my world for less than like $5,000, $10,000. Most of the stuff was big. Before this, I was Mr. less than $1,000. Everything was less than $1,000. $777, $977. We sold hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of courses and programs and memberships and all kinds of things. What people need now is they need help. So we're actually just launching. This is like news. If any of my team were here, they'd be upset that I'm sharing this. Because they're not, screw you, I'm sharing it because other people might need to use this. It's a $997 enabler product. I'll explain that in a minute. But by product, I mean it's a course and it's a community. What does it enable? It enables someone to get the first 3 or 4 steps of what success looks like in your world. So when people come into our big programs, they're like, oh my God, niche, target market, topic, what's my value prop? What's my verbal business card? Who am I in the world? What should I be offering? What's the right business model? What's the right revenue model? What's the right pricing? We're just going to give that to you. We're going to give that to you in a $997 product where you will be crystal clear on your niche, your target market, your message, your topic, your verbal business card, how to say what you do with articulation and distinction. You will have a set of offers ready to go. Hopefully, this enabler product, and we can all do one of these, the enabler product will let them make enough money in this market, in this current time, where they will then come back to you and say, Jill Schiffelbein, that worked so well. Can I hire you as my mentor? Can I hire you as my coach? What's your next level program? Jess Todfeld, I used your media strategies. I used your speaking strategies. I got a $5,000 thing over here and a $7,000 thing over here. I now have $12,000 in my bank account. How can I sign up with you for a year? How do I sign up for your big program? How do I sign up for whatever? So this $997, it's not about the price point. It's about this concept of having an enabler product that gives people enough quick wins and enough specific takeaways that they go, oh my God, that worked. Give me more. Give me more. How do I go further? Corey, how do I hire your team? How do I take this to the next level? You gave me a little bit of a sample, and that sample worked so well, I'm now coming back to the source, and I want the medium package or the big package or the supersized package because you've now proven to me that your material works. I want to now take that times 10. So from a $997 product, that's where your next $5,000, $10,000, or $20,000 clients are coming from. Build that right now while you have time, while you have bandwidth, while you have some energy around it, and it will change your business for the rest of your professional career.
Awesome.
Or you can go fishing.
Or you can go fishing. That's it.
Well, Jill, leave us with some words of wisdom, put you on the spot, and leave us wanting more, and we're going to wrap this up. So you get the final say since you're our guest.
Well, I think Jess wanted to share something. So Jess
yes, that's
share
right.
what he wanted to share. Yeah.
Well, Corey said I shouldn't share something free. So people,
I did not say that.
I was gonna give you a copy of the book for free.
I didn't say that.
And And now we'll just have to wait till next time.
Sorry, everybody. It's my fault. It's all my fault. Send me
You'll
hate.
have to show up next Monday at 5 p.m. Eastern.
Yes. Yes.
Jill Schimmelbein, take it away.
I think that's a prime example of saying what you want to craft the message and selective hearing.
Yes.
We'll go with that. I'm supposed to leave with some type of brilliance. That's
Yes.
man, so much pressure. The biggest thing, I just said this as a final statement on an interview I was just doing before this, and I think it's true. It's communicate with consistency, no matter what. If your brand has a certain message, like, so for example, for me, you will almost always find me doing video, if I'm doing video in a setting that has some type of simple plain backdrop with well lit and with audio as good as I can get it in the situation. Well, this isn't my studio. I had to makeshift something, but I still did something consistent, even though it's not the level that I would like to have. So what you have to do is think, what can you realistically do given your situation, but how can it still be authentic to your brand and the brand that you want to have going forward? And not just with the video, but with your emails, with your communication, with your offers to help, with your product. So for example, Corey's thing of doing it free as a way of getting people in the door fits with his entire business model and how it works. Newman's like, screw that. I have a $9.97 product, and that's what works for him. Jess is like, look, I just made this, I think it's a $500 course, and that what works for him. And me, I'm like, I'm just making free video content. You know what, guys? That works for me. But pick whatever it is and be consistent with it. Just don't pick up a strategy. Oh, I saw Newman say this for $9.97, it works, and all of a sudden that's going to be your business model, or Corey's, or mine, or Jess's. It's not that way. Pick something that is consistent with your brand, but different than what you've done.
That's great.
There it is.
Or crumpling papers. Is that you?
Yeah, I hear some strange noise. You guys hear that too?
I do. Yeah.
We don't know, but we're going to leave them wanting more of that.
We'll leave them wanting more of the
We're going
crumpling.
to leave them wanting more of that too.
Hey, there you go.
Gentlemen, everyone that has unconscious bias, stop it. Be more open, be more loving, hug each other, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Bill. Thanks for being here. We love you.
I love you guys.
Bye.